Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am.
Nino Brown Boxing, I'm back in the building. Shout out to the LDBC. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. So, man, my boy Jarrett Hurd, you know, I seen him put a post up on his Instagram page and on his Facebook, and he's calling out Erislandy Lara. Now, if you don't know, Jarrett Hurd is a hometown guy. He's from the same area as me, the DMV area, so I gotta always ride with the hometown guy. Well, not always. Most of the time, I'll ride with the hometown guy. And I'm also a big Erislandy Lara fan. I'm one of the fans that believe that Lara beat Canelo. I feel like he got robbed. And me right now, honestly, I feel like Lara should be an undefeated fighter. But it is what it is. The past is the past. Let's move on to this unification bout. So, I really want this fight to happen in 2018. I just dropped the video yesterday talking about, I feel like Jarrett Hurd is the most underrated fighter out today. And now that, you know, Jarrett Hurd is on social media calling out Erislandy Lara, some would believe that Lara is the top junior middleweight in boxing today, if not number one, number two in some opinions, behind Jermell Charlo. And the fact that Jarrett Hurd, this young champion, is calling out such a seasoned veteran, such a skilled seasoned veteran, it definitely deserves a bunch of applause. You know, it's a lot of young guys in boxing that are not willing to call out that seasoned, more experienced guy in their division to unify. They like to tiptoe around the issue and act like this person doesn't exist, even though they acknowledge their greatness at the same time. You know, something that's crazy in my opinion, but it is what it is. So, now they're trying to, if this fight happens, they'll have the IBF and the WBA title on the line to be unified. And whoever wins this fight, I don't care what anyone says, if they unify, they're the top guy at 154 pounds. So Jermell Charlo is going to have to either get on the ball, try to unify with Saddam Ali, something that I don't see happening, not because of Jermell Charlo, but more so because of Saddam Ali and team. And if that's not the case, Jermell Charlo needs to go after the winner and try to unify his WBC strap and possibly grab that IBF and WBA title. But if he doesn't go that route immediately, he will definitely be the number two guy in the division. Now, how do I think this fight will play out? Like I said in my previous video about Jarrett Hurd, he's one of those fighters that he continuously works on his craft. He's very critical. He was very critical of himself in that Tony Harrison fight, and the guy's only getting better and better. But it's not like he's just getting better and better. He's getting better when it comes to his technique. He's becoming more fundamentally sound as his pro career goes on, but he's also getting stronger. I know for a fact he's also getting bigger, and fighting these fights that he's been fighting recently, he's been stepped up in competition. He's also gaining more experience. So I think, a guy like Jarrett Hurd, he's hungry too, and I'm sure we all know we can maybe be able to relate to this personally, maybe be able to relate to this watching other sports or just watching boxing. In general, a lot of these young fighters are hungry. And I will compare it to the Keith Thurman, Errol Spence situation, where you had a guy that's held the titles for a longer period of time. He may be a little bit more content. He has more money. He's came up. He's had big fights. But Jarrett Hurd, in my opinion, when it comes to the level of just him being a hungry live dog out there, I compare him to Errol Spence, because I believe these two fighters are extremely young. They're hungry, and they're ready to get after whoever they need to get after. We have to look at it. Hurd is calling out Lara. It's not the other way around. Even though I don't feel any ounce in me that Lara would try to shy away from Hurd and he wouldn't be willing to fight him. But the fact of the matter is, right now, Hurd is calling out Lara, so it's definitely showing something. It's definitely showing that Jarrett Hurd has a lot of confidence in himself. He has a lot of confidence in his abilities. I mean, he a big boy for the division. He can take a punch, he can give a punch, and him giving us exciting fights is definitely something that we can all look forward to. Now, I also like Erislandy Lara. You know, a lot of people try to crap on his style, talk about Laura's boring. You know, you got those certain group of people that call him a runner, but you got those people that don't consider Lara a runner. They recognize that he's utilizing lateral movement, but they still call him boring. Me personally, I enjoy watching Lara's style because it makes me think. You know, it challenges my boxing knowledge, and I learn something new every single time I watch him fight. Versus you have those guys that just get in the ring and they slug it out and they have no type of defense at all, no type of athleticism. They just literally stand in front of each other, and pretty much whoever can take the most punches wins. And Lara style is the complete opposite of that. It's the true art of hitting and not get hit, and you throw some extra dance moves and lateral movement up in there. I find that style to be extremely entertaining. Some people may disagree. I love the defense Lara possesses, his offensive IQ, and just the ability for him to pick his punches and the accuracy of his punches. We know Lara has dog in him. We've seen Lara in tough fights, and we've seen Lara be knocked down. We saw Lara get back up, and it's just similar to Guillermo Rigondeaux. If you want this type of guy to have those type of fights, he needs a type of opponent in front of him that's going to have the ability, the heart, and the desire to push him to get to that level. It is what it is. It's just one of those things. He's fighting smarter, not harder. Like, why would he put himself in a dog fight when he has the ability to box circles around some guy tenfold? Like, what's the point of going blows to blows with him if he doesn't have to? You get your check, you come out as unscathed as possible, and you move on to the next one. If he happens to get into a dog fight with an opponent, then that opponent was good enough to put him in that compromising position, and now he has to fight his way out of it. So, now who do I pick for this fight? I mean, my premature pick. Remember, I said premature pick. I'm going to go with Jarrett Hurd. I go with Jarrett Hurd because he's the younger guy, and Erislandy Lara is getting older. He's not old, but he's getting older, and he's a guy that's getting older. He's been around for a while. You know, we know his style. We haven't seen any actual signs of him slowing down, but at the same time, Father Time is, he waits for no one, and it's always a contributing factor in a fight. So he's going against a younger, bigger, stronger opponent than Jarrett Hurd. Jarrett Hurd is getting better each fight. Now, we don't know what improvements Jarrett Hurd have made after his most recent fight against Austin Trout. We have to consider that Austin Trout is a very slick fighter with a lot of ring experience himself. I mean, we've seen the improvements he made against Austin Trout after that Tony Harrison fight. Some people say, well, Hurd got hit too much. Like, people, let's be real. Austin Trout is extremely experienced. He's an experienced southpaw. He has a lot of movement. He has great defense. And, he just has the ability to pick his shots, and he's a very accurate puncher. So, the experience Jarrett Hurd gained in facing Austin Trout is definitely going to translate into a fight with Erislandy Lara. They're both extremely slick. They're both southpaws, and they both have a lot more experience than him. And guess what? Both of those guys been in the ring with a guy like Canelo, somebody else that brings a whole different look. So I'm sure with Austin Trout and Erislandy Lara fighting Canelo prior to them fighting Jarrett Hurd, it definitely put Austin Trout in a position where he had more experience going against a guy that could, just has that boxer puncher style. So we have to see what happens. Hopefully this fight gets made. I'm trying to see another unified champion in 2018. Once again, I will stand by this statement. Whoever wins this fight, if it was to happen, will be the number one 154-pounder in Nino Brown boxing book. But until next time, guys, it's Nino Brown Boxing. Shout out to the LDBC. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Peace.